Hello and welcome to another Uniko video with me, Bev, the owner and designer of all things Uniko. Welcome to day 5 and the final day of the August 2025 product release introductions. Today is all about the stencils, and I have 2 fabulous stencils to introduce to you. But I'm going to introduce them in separate videos because I feel they need their own little bit of limelight. So I've chosen to go with the layering stencil first. This one is called Layering Retro Lines. As you can see, it's this sort of fun 70s, 80s design with sort of interlocking lines. To create sort of these rainbow effects. I'd seen lots of stamps and dies and things with this sort of rainbow feature, but I hadn't come across any stencils, and I like the fact that each line can be a separate colour without having to mask off or anything. Obviously you can mask it a little bit if you wanted these lines going this way to be different colours from these lines going up this way. You would need to do a little bit of masking, but that wouldn't take too much. Anyway, so this first one I had to use rainbow colours, of course, and I used the sparkly Hello from Big Bold Hello, and added the friend and some Nouveau drops. And then this other card that I've shared on the website blog today, I wanted a bit of more of a sort of vintagey feel, so I actually used pebble cardstock from Concord and 9th, and then inked over, and I just used this section of the stencils and inked in Midnight, Lakefront, Artichoke I believe, Sunflower and Pimento, and it sort of gives, doing it on a coloured sort of card base gives it a vintagey feel in my opinion. And then the sentiments from Sunshine and Rainbows. So this stencil is a 5-layer stencil and it's super easy to use. I have numbered them. You don't really have to number them because you can do them in any order, but I just like to mark the top corners, and it sort of makes it easier for knowing which way up they go. And I have sort of done them in an order that you can either go up or down the lines, but as long as you remember where you put them on your surface when you lay the next one, as long as you put it in the same place, it'll match up nice and easy. So I'm just going to place this here and we'll get to inking. I've chosen a sort of a retro colour scheme that I saw online. My nutmeg Concord and 9th is a little bit dry, so I've chosen Espresso from Altenew, Cayenne, Sorbet, Honeycomb and Lakefront from Concord and 9th, and we're just going to work through the colours. I haven't tried these colours together, so I'm not sure how they'll look, and I'm hoping that my sort of I've matched them up to this sort of graphic that I saw online on Pinterest, is good enough and they'll look fab, but we'll see. It's always an experiment. So I'm just applying the nutmeg first. Not the nutmeg, sorry. What did I say? It was espresso. I was going to use nutmeg, but as I say, my ink pad was a little bit dry, and it's one of the only colours. I've only got a handful of the re-inkers left to get, but unfortunately nutmeg is one of them. So it's a good job I do have some browns in some other ink formats and brands. It's a colour I don't actually have a lot of, so I did have to think a little bit what I could use. And it's unusual because it is a useful colour like all colours, but I have to say it's not one that I've actually used in a rainbow before. So we'll see how this turns out. So I thought I'd just show you how this stencil comes together with ease. So I've done this first colour, put my lid back on so I don't get it all over my hands. So I'm 2 down from the cardstock corner here and then 1 across. 2 down and 1 across. So as you hopefully can see in the video here, there's this sort of gap in between the inked lines, so you know you've roughly got it in, you've got it in the right place when you can see that sort of nice gap in between. And we're going to go in with the cayenne. This is another colour that I don't really use much. Sort of a very burnt orange. But as I say, I was matching, I'd seen this sort of retro colour scheme. Someone had shared swatches matched to a picture, and I thought it looked really fun and different for me. So I went through my colours and matched up as best I could. So we'll see how it comes out. So as you can see, I'm sort of putting my ink on the stencil and then drawing it over the gap so I don't get too an intense colour or a splodge straight away, and just building it up slowly. And just move that magnet a little bit just so I can get this bottom part. I'm just going over till I've completed it and I'm happy with how it's looking. And we'll see how this turns out. So this stencil, along with all the products I've introduced this week and the other stencil I'll be sharing in another video today, will be available on the website tomorrow morning, Sunday the 10th at 9 AM BST, British Summer Time. And I will have a few things available on back order. My stencil manufacturer is back next week. If you sign up for Uniko's newsletter, you'll get all the info in there as well. And that's that colour. Looking good so far. Different for me. But as I say, sometimes it's nice to try something a little bit different, isn't it? So I'm 2 down and 1 across. And the next colour is Sorbet. Now this is a colour I've used a lot in the past and I do quite like this one. Usually I use it with the grapefruit, which I nearly chose. But I thought it might be a little bit too pale against the first 2 colours that I've used. But we'll see how this looks. I haven't decided on a sentiment or anything yet, so I won't be doing that bit today, and I will show the finished card tomorrow with some of the others that I've done in videos this week on the website blog tomorrow. And all being well, I will try and pop in and share another video here on YouTube showing the release and whatnot. And if I've got any other must show you ideas, there's always something. But release week is never long enough really to show you the full potential of products. you only get a real sort of scratch the surface look at them. But I know some of the brand ambassadors have already prepared their inspiration posts for the rest of the month, and I will be sharing over the next few days as well. As long as I always say that and then I get snowed under with other things, but yeah, I have plans to share a lot more using these products, and also the Christmas in July release, which was only a week and a bit ago, I think. Well, what are we on? We're on the 9th, so that was only released 9 days ago. I don't normally do releases so close together, but I couldn't resist sharing these before I go on vacation in September. So there'll be no more product releases till the autumn, but it'll be worth the wait because I have some ideas cooking. So I'm going in with sunflower now. This kind of reminds me of roller skating, and disco vibes. And who remembers United Colours of Benetton, I think it was called. It sort of gives me that sort of feel as well. But if you like rainbows, if you like stripes, I think that you will find a lot of creative options with this one. And I think personally it will pair lovely with a lot from the sort of mid-century modern and the Bauhaus range, as well as other things. I don't know, I just think geometrics and stripes and things are such a versatile product, that you can do a lot with them. It takes, obviously I'm going fairly slow here, but I'm trying to not splodge the ink on too much. But then I don't want to be keeping you forever while I'm just sat here rambling and inking away. But I think you can create some really fun backgrounds with this. And you don't have to use all the layers if you don't want to. You could just use 2 or 3. You could miss a layer, so the gap's slightly bigger in between. You've got those options as well. Oh, that is looking yummy. And then I've chosen lakefront for this last layer. And we'll see how that looks with these other colours. I love sort of aqua turquoise colours, one of my favourites. But what I like about this one, it sort of does have like that vintagey feel to it, that it's slightly muted compared to like Oceanside, which is my other favourite. Getting a bit sloppy here with my inking, but we'll get it right. You just keep going over until the colours intensify a bit, but I do find some of these sort of seep in a little bit and they look a bit when you first start out, and then once they've sort of seeped into the card a bit and dried off, then they start looking nicer. I am using quite smooth cardstock here. I got this from the shows that I do. It's from a company called Lime Tree, and it's their Simply the Best. It's 280 GSM, but it is a nice bright white, and it is super smooth as well. And it's good value. I used to always use Stampin' Up, and I still use it, but I use it a little bit sparingly now, as I found when I came to order last time, the packs had shrunk by half and the price had gone up as well. Shrinkflation they call it, don't they? So I use that a little bit more sparingly now. So there, I'm happy with the colour application, and we'll lift it off, and there is the design. And obviously you've got some spaces around here to add sentiments or whatever, and I'm going to think about how I want to finish this vintagey design, and I will share it tomorrow on the website blog on release day. Thank you for joining me for this video as I introduce this new layering stencil. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back again shortly with the next stencil introduction. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.